Hey everyone, it's Willow again. First off, it is, if you can see that, it is 12 minutes, there we go, 12 minutes after noon on December 12th, 2012. So, happy 12/12/12. I'm going to try and run through this as quick as I can because my kids are home. I wasn't expecting them to be home. Our town apparently has a bunch of teenagers who think it is funny to call in bomb threats to the local high schools and junior highs. We have had 9 threats in the last 6 days. So our local independent school district decided to cancel all classes in all schools today. I guess they're trying to get to the bottom of it. Luckily, no dangerous things have been found, no bombs, nothing. It's just a bunch of teenagers who think it is funny to call in a bomb threat and get the rest of the day off of school. They're really going to think it's funny when they get caught and get charged with a, what did they say in the newspaper, class 3 felony, up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. So, yay for them. They're so cool. Anyways, on last Friday's Stick'em chat with Tiptoe Chick, she pretty much dared us all to make 12/12/12 truly memorable. To do something that will change your life. And I decided to pick up that dare. So even though in my introduction video I have said that I have been practicing walking the pagan path for about 14 or 15 years, I've never really delved into it. The first couple of years it was just a cool thing that we were doing as teenagers. And after that, I mean, I didn't really follow it, as I should have. I've read a little here, a little there, but it's never been a big, big part of my life. So today, on December 12th, 2012, I have decided to start my year in a day. I have never done my year in a day, which I really should have a long time ago. But anyways, that is what I am doing for this, what we can call the last consecutive date of our lifetime. Now, a couple of years ago, I ended up buying this book. A lot of you have heard about it. It is Wicca, A Year and a Day by Timothy Roderick. It takes you through exercises and learning and thoughts that you should do, one lesson or one thought, one activity that you should do on each of your 366 days of your year and a day. Now, I bought this about a year ago with the intention of going through it page by page and following it to the letter. And I kind of just put it up on my shelf and didn't do anything with it. And when I decided a couple of days ago that I was going to, for my memorable moment, I'm going to start my year in a day, I picked this book back up again, thinking, yeah, I'm going to follow it, day 1, I'm going to do this, day 2, I'm going to do this. But I kind of flipped through it just to see, because there's, for each, 20 or 30 days, there is a things to buy list. Well, we all know the economy is bad. I can't afford to buy, frankincense and myrrh and rose oil, which we all know is really expensive. So I decided to just use this as a guideline. I'll read, maybe a week at a time and pick, okay, this is what I should be thinking about right now, and use it as more of a stepping stone to other things. I mean, it can, for my college courses, like writing a paper, my college hates Wikipedia. We cannot use Wikipedia for anything. If we do, it's an automatic 0. So what I do is I go, if it's a topic I've never really heard about, I go to Wikipedia, I read what they say, and I use that as, okay, say for example, the assassination of President Kennedy. I'll go on there and I'm like, okay, pretend I have absolutely no clue what happened that day. I'll go, okay, it happened on this and this day in Dallas, and these are the people involved. Well, I can take the name Lee Harvey Oswald and search for that somewhere else. Or Lyndon Baines Johnson, search for that somewhere else. I use it as a jumping off point. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this book. Another thing about this book is they have all the Sabbats right together. You study Samhain, and then, Lammas, and then Yule, and then, I mean, it's one right after the other, not following the cycle of the turn of the wheel. So that's one thing I never could get with this book. So I'm going to, like with the Sabbats, I'm going to study them as they come up. And I plan on doing a lot of reading. I heard, I can't remember who exactly said it, but I was watching a YouTube video the other day that said one thing that like 90% of the pagans have in common is they love to read. I will read anything. Well, okay, not everything. I don't really like Harlequin romance novels. They're too ooey gooey, sickly sweet for me. I much prefer like romantic suspense. You know, two people running from a crazed killer and they fall in love. But anyways, most of my year in a day will be spent reading. For example, I actually just finished this one, Wicca for Beginners by, Thea Sabin, something like that. Loved it. But I'll do a video on that later. So most of my year in a day is going to be spent reading, and I'm going to try, well, no, I can't say try. I will learn how to meditate. Right now, my brain I sit there to meditate, and here comes a thought. And here comes a thought. And it's just everything in my brain just will not shut up. So that is one thing I have to work on in my year in a day. Like I said, reading. I have about, 10 to 15 books on my Kindle that I have set up to read. The one I'm reading right now is The Idiot's Guide to Wicca and Witchcraft. Don't laugh, even though I am. It's actually full of a lot of information. I mean, it just touches on the subjects, but it sort of makes you want to, like I said, it's a stepping stone. It's a jumping off point. So that's what I'm reading right now. Next up, I think I have The Spiral Dance by Starhawk. I think that's what I'm going to read next. But anyways, and I think I just lost my train of thought. Meditation, reading. Oh, I've always been decent at tarot cards. I have 2 decks right now. One of them I have had pretty much since I started on the path. It's my Tarot of the Cat People. That is, wow, a strange deck. I'll probably do a video on that later too. Doing these videos actually makes me think of other videos I want to do. But I have that one, and I have the Animals Divine deck. That's my newest one. I love that one. But, like I said, I've always been decent at tarot cards. I still have to, run to the book for every card. So that's one thing I want to work on. I want to work on my pendulum work. I've never really tried a pendulum. The closest I came to a pendulum was my make-it-yourself Ouija board way back in the 90s. I also want to start oracle cards. I hear you guys constantly talk about oracle cards. A friend of mine had an Osho Zen deck back in high school when all of this started. And I always loved the imagery on it and how I hate to say simple they are to read, but how they are much easier than the tarot cards. For one thing, the deck is so much smaller usually. And they usually have a few words on the card to basically start you on, go, okay, well, if it's the Cauldron card, and it's on the bottom of the card, it says mysteries and knowledge. Well, that, once again, jumping off point. It's a jumping off point. It clicks in your brain, and then you go, okay, well, if it means this, then it probably also means this. And it seems a lot simpler to me. So I think I'm going to, I've been researching Oracle decks. I found a wonderful website that has actual pictures of usually about 10 to 12 cards from a deck. And that's how I choose my decks. If the imagery speaks to me, then that's the deck I want. So maybe I'll put a link to that website down below if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of reading. A lot of reading. I have so many books, and even on my Amazon wish list, when I get some money that I can, you know, buy a book here or there. I have so many books on my Amazon wish list that I want. I'm going to be working a lot on my meditation. I think I actually have a couple of meditation books on my Amazon wish list too. I'm going to start out with studying the Oracle cards and work my way through a couple of different means of divination. And I'm going to finally restart my my Book of Shadows. As you guys heard in my introduction video, it got either thrown out or destroyed when my landlord decided thought I had already moved out. Even though I still had a couple of days of packing left, she thought I had moved out, so she got rid of everything. And that left me heartbroken. So I haven't really, you know, set my mind to restarting my Book of Shadows, but that's one thing I'm going to start now. I'm going to try and work on my journaling. I suck at journaling. I sit there and I'll write something, and I'll look at it and go, oh, that sounds so stupid. So I'll cross it out, and I'll maybe stick with journaling for 2 or 3 days, and I'll just, you know, toss it out. I'll be like, no, this is a waste of time. But I think with this 12-12-12 being, you know, my memorable day, I think I'm going to use it as a day that I'm finally going to continue with things I've started. So I will keep you guys up to date on my year and a day studies. I will do book reviews. I think the first one I'm going to do, even though I've seen a couple of other people do it, I'll do my own opinion and spin on Wicca for Beginners. And I think that's about it. So what are you guys doing to make 12-12-12 memorable? Hope it's a good one. Love you guys. Bye.